back half of last season, in a season where, again, Manny, this Richmond side got to the wildcard period and they took the next step. They got a wildcard win.
Exactly right, and it's had some great VFL recruits come into the program in the off-season as well, and if anything is to go by what we saw against Casey with a 50-point win, with the AFL talent that's come into the side from a young player's perspective, we could be in for an exciting afternoon here.
So you talk about that win over Casey. Is that the one that the coaching staff is looking more towards as opposed to the first hit out against the Bombers?
Yeah, I would say so. It was more of a more seasoned lineup that faced Casey on that Saturday morning, and just with the way that Jack Madgen has got his team playing, which is not a direct replica, but a very similar style to what we're going to hope to see at AFL perspective throughout the year as well. Fast, high turnover, and we're pretty potent up forward, the Tigers. So looking forward to Michael Lafau leading this forward line, and alongside him, Liam Fawcett, Jasper Elgar, and then the youngsters in Piker and Roberts Thompson. I'm
glad you said Liam Fawcett, because it was this day 12 months ago that we found him, Manny. We found him,
didn't we?
And we got him on the plane to Adelaide, of course, after Richmond beat Carlton on the Thursday night, which will happen tonight. Again, Richmond and Carlton, 80-odd thousand at the MCG. So keep an eye on Liam Fawcett, whether he can become a regular in that senior side. I know we also saw Jonty fall this time last year. But to get us underway, Manny, it's Richmond and Carlton at Icon Park.
Hayes Brown back from the patella tendon injury in the ruck, alongside Liam Reedy for the Blues. Richmond with the clean clearance here out of the middle. Heading forward is Ollie Houghton with a deep ball inside 50. And that's great presentation on the lead. And it is our man Liam Fawcett, Joey, lining up in the first 20 seconds of the game, 45-degree angle, roughly 45 metres out.
Every chance that Jack Madgen has the commentary piped into the ears of every single Richmond player here today. Liam Fawcett, fantastic. You also called Ollie Houghton in that play.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking for the Houghton family and fans of Taj Houghton, who heard that hip a couple of weeks ago and has put his start to the 2026 campaign on hold.
It's Liam Fawcett here, as you said, Joey, looking to really, I guess, try and cement his spot in a key forward post in 2026. Does this part of the game pretty well. Starts it on that left-hand goalpost, and that's absolutely perfect. A nice little fade off the left-hand goalpost, allowing for the winner. The Tigers are on the board early here at Icon Park.
Yeah, Liam Fawcett kicks it first. He did hit the scoreboard against the Bombers a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, he did, yeah. Yep.
How'd he go against Casey last week?
No, he's impressive. Really strong leading up with the ball, strong in the contest. And took his chances in front of goal. Apart from one where one behind he would have liked to take back. It was a pretty simple shot that he usually does convert. But I love his presentation of the ball, and he's looked to put on size over the last couple of years. So he's definitely one of those key forward prospects that we've got a bevy of down here at Richmond at the moment, with Armstrong and Fall at AFL duties tonight.
So we go back to the centre. Liam Fawcett kicks the first goal. The ball spilt out the way of the Tigers. Stack of numbers around this one. Boyd's going to have a crack at it. Go up against his opponent in Tommy Burton. A string of handballs here from Richmond. From Ozzie Johnson inside 50. Akers couldn't take the intercepting mark. But at ground level, the Blues can work this out to the broadcast side. O'Sullivan didn't take it against Al Noor. He's going to have a crack at going back after it, but it spilt loose and we've got it going out of bounds. Yes, we do now. And the boundary umpires will confer, and we'll have that one tossed in.
Yeah, Mutaz Al-Nur announced during the week that he's once again a vice-captain of this football club, and geez, an exciting prospect. He had a fantastic second half against Casey. Just really patrolled that back half as the real general back there, and fingers crossed for Mutaz. He gets a really good run at it in 2026 and hopefully on the doorstep to AFL opportunities at some stage. As the Blues clear here through Akers. Nice work to Moya. Runs back into traffic though. Blues still in control. Dancing around there nicely was Tucker. Moya by hand. Here go the Blues. Moya once again involved about 3 or 4 times in his passage of play. They've done this well, but great work. Come forward defence by Al-Nur. Here goes Rechko with some pressure on there to the Blues in Boyd. Here go the Tigers, clearing through Brown to Smith. Zayden Lockwood goes wide out to Liam George.
So the boy George will sit in the back pocket. Ask for someone to present and come towards him. It's Roberts Thompson. Surely part of that family tree with the LRT man.
He is. I believe a nephew. Strong left foot there by Roberts Thompson.
Down the kick. There's a whistle on play, and I think it's a free kick to the man, McKelty Lafau, who burst onto the scene and unfortunately had that ACL injury. And he's back out there now. He went backwards. And Luke Traynor can come across to Al Noor, which he's not a great kick at all.
It was a helicopter.
He set Mutaz back to Davey, who wrapped up his opponent. The umpire will for the football. Is that man slow to get to his feet? He's up now. 45 out from the Carlton goal. A quick response has come in back-to-back succession. Akers shot the handball over the top, set a task for his teammate in Flynn Young, who kicked a goal earlier in this term. Akers hemmed in on the pocket. He doesn't want to have the shot. He went back for Young, who had the ball stolen away from him, and Boyd marked it about 55 out from goal.
Boyd's got options in the corridor, decides just to slow things down, just assess what's happening inside 50. Richmond with plenty of numbers back. No one forward of centre for the Tigers. Watch for Brown. Oh, great work by Moya. Excellent leap there by the young Carlton forward. Mutaz O'Neill was playing a little ducks and drakes there with Ashton Moya and decided to rush the ball through. And Tom Brown will take the kick out for the Tigers. Emergency for AFL duties tonight at the MCG goes to Ollie Houghton. And Houghton was one against Casey, who had a really strong second half through the midfield. New recruit, obviously, for Richmond's VFL side this year. As Smith goes to Brown. Brown with a long ball has got Roberts-Thompson. Great body work now. Sorry, that was Renfrey. Excellent work. The ball just set up for him. Inside 50 with a nice, smart kick on the 45 to find Sam Phillip, who will kick on roughly a 45-degree angle from roughly 45 metres out for Richmond's fourth.
Terrific ball movement. We saw it on the outside of the ground with the McKelty Lafau goal, and they've done it on this broadcast side now. And Sam Phillip, now Liam Fawcett was the man who broke back towards the goal square, which opened up that spot that Sam led into, and here he is having his first shot of goal for the day.
Watch for the left-hand goalpost here. The breeze should swing this back. Yeah, he's kicked to the right one, and it's just gone to the right side of the goalpost through for a minor score. Richmond 3-1-19, the Blues 1-1-7. That's a good point, Joey. That's both times Richmond and either side of the ground too, where they've had a clear plan of how they want to move the ball, and then kick to a more central location once inside 50. Here you go, the Blues to Haynes. Plays on, short ball. Ooh, invited a little bit of pressure on Ben Camporale. Goes back to Haynes. He's got Akers, who doesn't have acres of space. Closed down now. Moya in front of Mutaz O'Neill. That's a great mark and well paid. That's going to be a good contest this afternoon. Al Noor v Moya. Two great young athletic players. Goes on by hand to Akers. Back to Moya on his right. And that is why it went with a bit of a spiral and over the line, out of play. And the Tigers will have a free kick.
It might have been touched off the boot.
Oh, touched off the boot, that's why.
Got lucky, Ashton Moya, but he's spent the first few minutes in the guts, and now he's moved forward and already posing a threat against Mutaz Al Noor. So we'll have this one thrown in. 25 out from the Carlton goal. Grabbed out of the ruck. Brilliant smother. Lockwood tried to get it back to Hayes. Brown. Camberley found a way through. Awkward one for Al Noor. It'll be picked up by Moya, and he'll kick his first of the day.
That was an awkward one. He stopped it, which was his job, but then, unfortunately, Moya was just in the right spot at the right time and kicked a well-deserved goal there by Ashton Moya.
He's proving a threat already. A few minutes on Mutaz Al Noor is Ashton Moya. And I tell you what, you speak to any Carlton person and say, just give me one player that you are so excited about this year, and they'll rattle off Jagger Smith, and rightly so. He's finally getting his opportunity after that ACL injury last year. But this man, Ashton Moya, would be right up there as a sneaky, crafty, brilliant small forward for this Carlton forward line. I'm actually surprised when I saw his name on this team, thinking they didn't roll the dice with him tonight at the MCG.
Yeah, I thought he was more than serviceable against Sydney last week and took his chances. And as you said, he's a player that Carlton don't have a bevy of it at AFL level, but I'm sure obviously there's method to the madness with Michael Voss and his coaching staff, but he started well here, and the corresponding game last year he had a really good game as well, so looking forward to him at AFL level in 2026 as the Tigers through Phillip get the centre clearance. Nice positioning there at half back for the Blues. Sees them turn it over. That was by Prout. Blues once again on the outer side. Inviting some pressure as they move the ball by hand. Nice work by Roberts-Thompson. Sharkey. Good mark there on the outer side. That's Burton or Renfrey, one of the two. It was a bit of a sack of a kick and found its way onto the chest of Haynes. Haynes goes inboard to Riley, the big ruckman. He's a bit of a Warnock type lookalike there for the Blues. Goes out wide to half forward, 2-on-1 for the Blues. Seeing it over the line is Dane Harvey. We'll have a throw in here. And about half forward, northern stand side of the ground for the Blues. Riley v Hayes Brown in the ruck. Jostling. Give on to Hayes Brown. Trainer at ground level. Hands to Toner. Good young player at VFL level. Goes to one-on-ones at half forward. Fawcett brings the ball to ground, but nicely sharked there for the Blues. There's still danger here. Nice spinning move by Roberts-Thompson on his left. Watch the squaring kick. Excellent work. That's the value of having a left footer in the forward half. The turn into the corridor found Rechko on the fat side of the ground.
Brilliant, wasn't it? To want to cut back inboard too and not look to get it into the pocket where there are a couple of Richmond players. You wanted to go back corridor side. And Patrick Rechko I watched play a couple of times last year for Geelong.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly certain that my research told me that he was a mad Richmond fan.
Mad.
Athletic runner, used to turn up at the Ash track in his yellow and black kit, refused to run in anything else.
We love it. We love when they get to play for their childhood club, and we've got a couple in Piker and Rechko, and that one just into the woodwork through for a minor score. But he's a really exciting prospect, as you said, Joey. Played some really good footy for Geelong from a VFL perspective last year. I saw him probably 2 or 3 times as well, and I'd like to see him on the expansions of the MCG at some stage this year.
So Haynes and the Blues bring the footy out to the broadcast side. Dane Harvey takes a strong mark. The boy out of Fitzroy in the Ammos.
Go to the Roy boys.
Grew up playing for the Roys, but now he's a regular feature for the Carlton Footy Club. O'Sullivan was pushed out of it. Out the back is Davey, of course, the former Bomber. Brilliant step back inboard from Young, but he lost the footy on the way through. Now he's wrapping up the big man, Ollie Hayes-Brown. And the umpire will ask for it. 55 out from the Carlton goal. You can stream this Smitty's VFL practice match on both Richmond and Carlton websites in the lead up to round 1 next week. Sammartino whacks it inside 50. Davies under it. May have gone up before acceptances did. Dane Harvey out the back was Davey. Slipped over. Tom Brown tried to wrap him up. It fell to Hogg, who broke one tackle, tried to break a second, got boots, the ball and went wide.
It was nice work. Good work by Davey there, even to take the tackle pressure on. Still got the handball into a dangerous position. And Hogg, good body strength too, with the one fend off, and just was a bit off balance there with a shot on goal, but looking dangerous inside 50. Trainer finds Sharkey in the corridor. He's got Al Noor out wide, decides not to go there now. Trainer by hand, using the stand rule nicely. Good work by Scott, Harry Scott. Nice work overhead. Got Lafau streaming into space inside 50. Good contest, and how the jukes by Maikelti Lafau. Excellent work. Led back into space, drew 3 opponents to him. Now dances around the man in the mark, dances around a second opponent. Still keeping his head in a tight situation. Goes back to Street. He'll turn him board onto his left and find Collier.
So Collier kicking a half out from goal. He's picked out his teammate inside 50 at Sam Phillip, who had the shot earlier on. This one is
tricky. This is
from
tricky
distance. Yeah. The breeze going against him. He'll have to give it everything he's got in the number 64. The best part of 50 metres. Sinks the slipper into it. Doesn't hit it all that well. Big pack in the goal square. Toner. Just the wrong side of the stick. And another behind.
Good work again, one at ground level for the Tigers. They're getting their forwards and mids in great, and even their key forwards, in great positions at those aerial contests to crumb in a really dangerous position. But what Jack Madgen will be really impressed by is the amount of marks inside 50 that Richmond's taken in the first quarter. Their ability to lower their eyes and find options has been pretty prevalent, and that's something that Carlton will need to work on in the second quarter and second half. Riley, nice little dance step. Harvey and Mutaz Al-Nur, that's another good contest. Alnua sees the ball over with a little bit of Jack O'Sullivan pressure, and we'll have a ball up, in front of the interchange benches. Riley and Hayes Brown is a good contest in the ruck. Is it Matthew Warnock type lookalike is Riley. Give that one to Hayes Brown, but Carlton were nearly going to win the clearance, but Toner with some pressure. That's Sharky at ground level for the Tiger. Here go the Blues though. Good work by George to come forward on that one. Burton with some good pressure as well on Tucker, and we'll have a ball up on the paint of 50.
Been watching Ollie Hayes Brown develop over the last couple of years. We're out of old Ivanhoe, and he's been here for the last few. The ball is cleared out of that contest, but a terrific mark. Intercepted by Cooper Vickery inside the centre square. So he'll wait for something to present and then decides to go across the ground. And it's Duffy going short now.
Good option.
To Harry Charlson. Might try and lower the eyes, and maybe those options have diminished for the moment. So he wobbles it into the junction of the 50 and the boundary, but it's
lasso
between the arcs. So it will be a lasso free kick, which is part of the Smithies VFL this year. And so the Tigers will bring the footy back in, and we've seen them move the ball nicely from half back as we move into time on in this opening term. To the wing.
Good mark.
And it's been intercepted by a man who was only recently put onto the Carlton list out of the Giants, Wade Dirksen.
Yeah, it was good mark. Good anticipation. Watch the eyes of the kicker and reacted first. Here go the Blues. With that last inside 50, Richmond just had fair saturation in their defensive 50, so Carlton couldn't go quickly. Here go the Blues to half forward. Sharky for the Tigers. Good spoil there. Brings the ball to ground. But Carlton still in the hunt. Nice little mark there by Lucas Camporale. He'll go short to Byrne. Another short ball to another Camporale in Ben.
Oh, she nearly
nearly, yes. Ben Camporale long to the pocket, but the Breeze just caught that and threw out on the full. Tom Brown will bring the ball back in for the Tigers. Goes laterally to Piker. Piker by hand. Looks like Rechko, I reckon. Wasn't the best kick. Invites the Blues back in, but there's good pressure by the Tigers again by Piker. Gets out of a tight situation with some real power and dynamism. Roberts Thompson just caught behind his opponent. And here go the Blues in the heart of Icon Park. They can go quickly through Tucker. Here they go. Flynn Riley with the ruckman isn't always the best person to give a handball to, but they're still alive here. And Young with a shot on goal and touched over by Luke Traynor through for a minor score.
So they're peppering at the moment, the Blues, trailing by 6 points. Closing in on quarter time. Toner on the bounce. Got it to Johnson. And down the line, Lafau. Took the mark. Out the back, a little sneaky one. And the Tigers are at 50. That's a brilliant step by Roberts Thompson. On the left, it's just got to do a bit with the breeze, and it does.
I didn't think it was going to catch it. I didn't. That was beautiful.
RT with a little golf fade, and it makes its way through for the full 6 points. So Carlton, who had the last 3 or 4 minutes of attacking play, couldn't put something on the scoreboard. And the Tigers go the length of the ground, and they move to 4-4-28. 4-3-27, my apologies, to 2-4-16.
Yeah, once again, it was great ball movement by the Tigers down the wing to a strong presence with Lafau at centre half forward. Turned quickly. He must have known that Roberts Thompson was on his cut run going inside 50. And it's a beautiful turn move. I saw Roberts Thompson a couple of weeks ago against Casey, and his ability in traffic, as you saw there, just in the contest to turn his opponent inside out, and that beautiful left boot. And it was a crafty finish because he knew exactly what he was doing. He was going to draw the ball in off the post there and just scoot it through. Here we go. Oh, it's going to be a free kick here to Hayes Brown for infringement in the ruck against Reedy. Hayes Brown's got Toner out wide here, just on the broadcast side. Decides not to go more centrally. High ball, get under that. Roberts Thompson will, but good spoil there at halfback for the Blues. Smith at ground level for Richmond. Tried the fend off. That'll be incorrect disposal and holding the ball, one or the other. Nice work by Ben Camporale there. Now this is where the Blues, just off slow play, they've just got to think their way through it here. Comes wide up. That's to Haynes. Haynes goes down the line. Oh, excellent spoil there by Renfrey. Ned Renfrey, summer recruit here for Richmond VFL. Excellent timing on the spoil by the college basketball graduate. Both ruckmen jostled there. Ball just fell at their feet. Camporelli, nice work to Reedy at ground level. That'll be a lasso. And a free kick to Richmond going the way of Luke Traynor.
So on the halfback flank, we're closing in on quarter time. Inboard for Caleb Smith. He's weighing up whether he wants to go back to go forward here. He'll decide to just send it forward.
Ooh.
In the end, coming out to present was Alga, but he didn't mark the footy. And Carlton on the overlap. It's thumped forward by Dirksen, just in hope, really. Out the back, it was an awkward bounce for Harvey. And the Tigers will just get away with this footy. Late sling dumping tackle, which means Nick Collier, who's got a lot of hair on the bonce. The blonde mop. In fact, he's going to give it to Lockwood to take the free kick. And he's going to go backwards to Luke Traynor.
It was a tough one to burn. You could see what he wanted to do, and he didn't apply some really strong pressure, but just had that slinging tackle at the end of that, which sees Richmond retain possession here in the back half, which Redscoat goes short to Piker, who's been dangerous and busy in the first quarter. I thought it was going to be flat 25 minutes, but obviously there's time on here as we prepare for round one next week.
Still a couple minutes to go according to the signs on the bench.
Sharkey, left football to half forward. Good presentation there by Fawcett. Camporale at ground level for the Blues as they reload now. Nice work by Sharkey with the pressure and contest in the air. Brings the ball to ground. Sharkey still involved. Camporale. Here go the Blues. Can they go quick on the rebound? Nice work by Smith. In the right place at the right time. Now it's Richmond's turn to go quick. Pike, I reckon it's on. No, Roberts Thompson. He looks stuffed. Just was in a bit of a jog. Couldn't get out of the concrete boots. Good courage there in the air for all players. And it's going to be actually a free kick to Liam George for Richmond against Darcy Tucker. So George, with you'd think about a minute left, just attacking side of the wing. Plenty of numbers back. See something he likes, just pinpoint pass there to Scott. Harry Scott now, probably 60 to 65 metres out. Has Fawcett and Lafau deep. Along with Lockwood, actually, who's unmarked. Wasn't the best kick by Scott. Will fall in the pocket, though. We'll have a boundary throw in, 4:50 stoppage here in the final minute of play in the opening term here at Icon Park.
So you'd think the Tigers are the only team that can score from here, unless Carlton have a couple of big thumping boots at it to get it to the other end of the ground. Lockwood going to do the ruck work here for Richmond. It fell short of both ruckmen. He grabbed it as it hit the deck. Here's NRT. Noah shot the handball back towards Alga. It was stolen away, though, by the Blues. It's a foot race in two in the centre square. Al Noor will get there. He'll try to bring it in. He couldn't quite gather it cleanly enough. And Taylor Byrne on 50. Got to 45. Almost. It just went the wrong side of the stick. But one thumping boot was all that needed. And then the foot race was on.
You did preface it. You didn't say they are the only team, but gee, it was...
I put a rider on it for a reason, man.
Yeah. There we go. There's the quarter time siren as Blake, I guess, farm for AFL players. And we've seen that with many VFL programs that are directly aligned reserve sides with AFL. So that's what you want to see from a Carlton perspective. You want to see development every week from a VFL or AFL perspective. You want to see Ashton Moyer come out and show what he can do, but then also have him set up to succeed at AFL level as well. Because you want to see Ashton Moyer at AFL more than VFL. And these type of players, and Blake Acres, you want to see him really drive standards and leadership at this level as a really senior player as well. So that's what you want to be using this program for, and hopefully you also want to get some wins along the way as well.
Absolutely, and one of the goals for Damien this year, Damien Truslove, the new coach, is to get as many players playing in that AFL program throughout this season as opposed to just the wins and losses column. It is staggering when you do look down and you think about Carlton AFL from the last couple of years that Blake Acres is running around out here today. Nick Haynes, who was one of their recruits last year, the two of them have started pretty well in this opening term.
Yeah.
Still getting used to playing footy, in early March?
Yes, early March.
So they've got a couple of weeks to get rolling. Who else are we looking at here? Lucas Camporelli and Ben Camporelli. Well, I don't know if they're project players as such. Of course, they got such a famous name around these parts, but I imagine at different points this year they'll be called upon. And Ashton Moyer, as we said during that first term, you ask any Carlton fan about their exciting prospects that are coming through their program. He is one of maybe two or three that they really lick their lips when they're talking about someone like that. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't know which side of the body he kicks better on.
Yeah, true.
He just decides in the middle of a run-up towards goal, I'm going to go with the left foot today. Now I'm going to go with the right foot. That's how skilled he is.
Well, it's great to see him actually start at centre bounce today. And that's what you can do with your development at VFL level for AFL duties in the future as well. You can try players in positions they maybe not recruited to the club for or used to. But that's what you've just got to use this program for. And you've got to have an eye to these players are developing, yes, but also what can they bring at AFL level? And you want to see Ashton Moyer, as I said. You want to see him play more AFL games than not this year. And
the one thing that Carlton have shown in their other two practice games so far, they beat the Cats a couple of weeks ago by a point. They lost to Footscray, the reigning premiers, by 21 points last week. But in both games, against Geelong, it was 38 points in the second quarter, and against Footscray, it was 31 points. And they managed to bridge those gaps. Last week, they probably could have beaten Footscray. 6 goals, 22. They kicked the Carlton Footy Club. 6-22.
Not great conversion rate, is it, Joey?
It's not going to win you many games of football, but they've had 28 shots at goal, and against Geelong the week before, they had 17 and won by a point after coming back from 40 points down.
Hayes Brown and Reedy, not Hayes Brain. He's got a good brain, Ollie Hayes Brown, but here go the Blues out of the centre circle. One-on-ones inside 50. Moyer and Al-Noor once again. Al-Noor wins it at ground level. Hands it to Smith. He couldn't handle the ball. Al-Noor involved once again. Houghton, but here come the Blues. Great pressure. Good start here for the Blues. They lock it inside their forward 50 after winning the centre clearance. They'll be able to set up behind the ball and give themselves a good opportunity to score here. Rechko and Brown just deciding who's going to go to Blake Acres. That'll be Rechko. Reedy, nice tap down. Just to the feet of his midfielder there. In Tucker, left foot ball. Great work by Lockwood, but had the impact and did at ground level. Just didn't catch all the spoil, which invited some small forwards at ground level for the Blues. But Lockwood was able to butter up and create a stoppage here in a dangerous position here for Richmond. Hayes Brown wins a tap. Boyd tried to gather the ball. Smith. So that's Boyd there. Oh, it's going to be a 50. The non-stand. Tom Burton just pleading his case to the umpire, but Boyd will be marched to the goal square and will kick Carlton's third goal and start the second term in great fashion. And that ball's not coming back because on the roof. How many balls do you reckon end up there?
Oh, a few.
There'll be a few.
A few. They've invested in a beautiful blue wall, as you can see, with a big Carlton logo.
Yeah.
Just the net is just a little bit too low.
A little bit low.
So if you are a young fella who's walking past or running past, you shouldn't be because you should be at school on a Thursday afternoon. You can pocket a couple of Sharons from this venue.
If you want to climb on the roof.
The other side is exactly the same. The Legends stand, of course. Many footies have been kicked over these roofs over many, many years. And unfortunately, it looks like, as I scroll down to the interchange bench, the young fella's drawn the short straw, and he's going to have to go climb up there and get that footy because there's only one left, and it was at the other end of the ground.
Oh, wow.
So, Jordan Boyd has booted it onto the roof to start the second term.
Probably didn't need to kick it that high.
Oh, when you're a defender, you don't kick too many goals, regardless of whether it's a practice match or for premiership points. So a free kick in the centre square will go the way of Carlton.
Not too sure what that one was for.
I think it might have been across the line.
Oh, okay.
There's a whistle's going off
50.
everywhere. And a 50.
50.
Maybe because the ball didn't come back quick enough.
Maybe.
So Liam Reedy is going to have the shot at goal from 30 metres out, directly in front.
Could give Carlton the lead here.
And all the hard work of the first term from the Tigers has been swallowed up in the first 3 minutes of the second term.
Yeah, Richmond had a similar situation against Casey where Jake Melsham was able to snap a goal from about 30 metres out just with a lack of concentration and no one manning the line, so the goal line. So there was a bit of that lack of concentration or awareness about that situation there with not giving the ball back in a swift fashion, and it's seen the Blues kick the first two of the second term, in the first 3 minutes, and they've taken the lead by a point.
So 2 goals from 50-metre penalties is punishing.
Yeah.
That's not going to impress Jack Madgen.
No, he'll have something to say at halftime, I'm sure.
Both, well, the first one's the stand rule, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
And the second one comes from the ball not coming back fast enough. You'd be more frustrated with the second one.
Yes.
As opposed to the first. But 2 goals from 50-metre penalties, and Carlton are in front. 4-4-28 to 4-3-27. You can watch this game on both the Richmond and Carlton websites. Of course, we are leading into this 2026 Smithies VFL season, which kicks off next Friday. Box Hill open the season at Dingley. Frankston on Friday night. And what about this, Manny? Tasmania are back in the competition.
How good. How good it is to hear that. Here go the Tigers. Speaking of Tasmanians, a few famous ones are played in the yellow and black. Great intent being shown here from Carlton, by Carlton in the opening minutes of this second term. Brown, under a little bit of pressure. Right foot ball out wide to Roberts Thompson. Brings the ball to ground from a defensive position. He'll be pinged here. Or he's going to be too high. He's drawn the free kick for too high. Getting up, limping a little. Left foot ball short to Street. The skipper once again for this VFL program. Lockie Street, premiership player from 2019. Nice work by Haynes, has been doing that his whole career. Nick Haynes. Short ball into the corridor. Here go the Blues. Can they go quick? Assessing options is Camperali. Goes to centre half forward. Scrappy ball inside 50. That was by Flynn Young. The ball escorted over the line by Mutaz Al-Nur. Have a ball to be thrown in under the Carlton logo there in the forward pocket. Blues definitely playing the game in their front half. Richmond hasn't really had a meaningful foray forward yet in this second term. Hayes Brown and Reedy once again. Ball neutralised. Cleared by the Tigers to one-on-ones out half back. Good tackle there by Fawcett. And we'll have a stoppage.
So just underneath the scoreboard, it has Carlton 1 point ahead of the Tigers, really going in the second term. George was wrapped up, and we'll do it again. The Tigers open their season next weekend against Southport. Carlton will have to wait an extra week before they kick off their campaign, an opening round bye. News earlier today that you can watch the Smithies VFL on just about every platform known to man, which is just terrific.
It is fantastic.
The ABC back covering the footy. KO, Channel 7, 11:16 SEN. That mark's been taken by Darcy Tucker. His handball wasn't a great one for Haynes, and George pushed him off it, so a scrappy 20-odd seconds from Carlton. And the Tigers can hopefully hurt them on the rebound, although Roberts Thompson was wrapped up in a Sammartino tackle. And the umpire will ask for it on the half-forward flank.
I'm sure no relation to Bruno Sammartino, the former WWF heavyweight champion of the world.
We'll have to ask him at half-time. Don't discount it.
You never know. Lockwood at half back here. It was good work by the Blues because the Tigers were out, as you said. They were running in a wave of numbers, and there was just great pressure and concentration to not overstep and be stepped by Roberts Thompson and created the turnover and got a stoppage here at half forward for the Blues, who have really had all the momentum in this quarter so far. We're 7.5 minutes in, and they lead by a point after kicking the opening 2 goals. Camporale once again, nearly drew a free kick. Put his head over the ball. Nice work. Oh, great mark there by Harvey on Lockwood. Really good, strong presentation on the lead. Strong hands out in front. Exactly how you want your key forward to mark the ball.
Well played from Dane Harvey, presenting well. A confirmation off the interweb that no relation.
It was a long bow. It was a long shot. But thank you for that, Joey.
And Dane Harvey also no relation to Robert.
Oh, good.
Or Boomer.
Oh, there you go.
He's a very good shot at goal, Dane Harvey.
You going to back him in here?
Yep.
Should know the breeze from this part of the world, just down the road in Fitzroy. Good looking effort, just left-hand side of the goalpost through for a minor score. Their lead is stretched to 2 points.
Well, couldn't handle the pressure.
Definitely been the scoring end this end.
It certainly has, despite the wind going the other end of the ground. So Tom Brown's going to bring the footy back in. And Carlton are holding a 2-point advantage. Broadcast side of the ground, gave it plenty of sky. Went over the head of all players. Picked up nicely. It ends up with Piker, who was run down by Akers. Brought him down and then let him know about it while he was on the grass.
Don't know about that.
And Akers will go inside the centre. Boyd has literally stood where he marked the footy. Still hasn't moved. Now,
Akers has drifted forward here.
Boyd will come broadcast side to that man Akers, who won the footy back for the Blues. Kick and a half out from goal. Not a lot of movement ahead for Blake Akers. Al Norb will close here.
Oh, great work.
Steal the football back and take a terrific intercept mark. So now he's got to wait for something in the yellow and black to move further ahead. He'll do so by getting it to half forward from the side over the head of Piker, their man, in the number 29, the most famous number in Richmond history. Elgar into the pocket, forced it from the back. Oh, brilliant hand in there. Just enough by Nick Haynes. And it got spoiled over the line. We'll have it thrown in.
Yeah, great assertive position there by Nick Haynes. Just knew the ball was going to just drop forward with that breeze and got his fingertip to it because, as I said, Fawcett was right there, right behind him to gobble that one up. Forward 50 stoppage here for the Tigers. Their real first look at inside 50 here in the quarter, really. Nice work by hand, Toner. That's going to swing back nicely. Oh, just the wrong side of the post. Nearly swung that right back on the breeze, Sam Toner. Through for a minor score. Richmond trailing by a solitary behind. 4-4-28 to 4-5-29. The Blues by the outer side. This is better by Carlton. They've got to run in numbers. Davey. Ball inside 50. Al-Nur in a great position once again. Oh, that's courage by Mutaz Al-Nur. That's what he does best. That's going to be potentially 50. Oh, no. Long switch to Toner. Toner's got Piker. Just didn't take the mark. Has also got Burton. Nice work there. Really like the look of Zane Piker today.
He's got the throw going nicely.
Piker goes short to Lafau. Not a great kick, but Lafau. Great gather at ground level. Put straight under pressure, though. Good tackle by Moyer. Lafau goes back and gets it. Tries to burrow through. Here goes Brown. Nice footwork. Sharky, Lafau. Jams it on the boot. Oh, Alga. Oh, no, Roberts Thompson. They look very similar. Just turned the body. Protected the drop zone. Oh, and he goes out to Burton. Tom Burton, the SSP. Signing by Richmond. Ex-Western Jets and Vic Metro co-captain. Not out of the realms of possibility. This is definitely within his skill set. Just judging by the Sam Toner kick earlier from a very similar position, you've kind of got to give the goals away a bit here and trust the breeze is going to bring it back. Burton does so and slots it. Excellent work. Gave himself a bit of room on them. We're just going shifting to the right of the mark, and that's an excellent finish by Tom Burton.
Yeah, sensational, and that's Brenton Mann, the goal-kicking coach at Richmond, who absolutely nailed it in one.
I know more about wind than goal-kicking.
Well, look, they've got to get this out of their game, Richmond, if they want to be successful. because Tom Burton has just kicked a goal and he's come and sat on the ground, on the bench. What's going on there? Now, surely Jack Madge is not from the same school of thought as every other coach that comes through the system, that you kick a goal, you're a young player, the adrenaline's pumping, and he goes and sits on the bench. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. I have no answer to that.
I'm going to get an answer.
Level, any level, really.
At some point this year, one of these Smithy's VFL coaches is going to give me an answer as to why they take their players off the ground. No one is due for a rotation after kicking a goal. Here they go again. Handball to Lockie Street, or tried to step one. Got through the other one. Went back by hand. Ollie Hayes-Brown, the big man, put the ball, sent it to the top of the square. It'll work out nicely. And the Tigers have got it again at the top of the square, and that's my man. Yes. Put the faucet on and keep it running.
The tap.
Liam takes it.
It was great work by Hayes-Brown. Won the centre clearance, and then also just stayed involved and not afraid to have the ball in his hands. Didn't panic. Just got the ball to a really dangerous position where Richmond had great representation at the top of the goal square. So it was a good mark by Fawcett coming in behind the contest.
Certainly was. He announced himself last year on this day. Got himself an AFL debut on the back of it. And he's got 2 goals in the first half.
He's a great, exciting prospect, and got a few down at Punt Road. You'll see a couple of them tonight, but Liam Fawcett's one that doesn't often get spoken about outside of Punt Road, but his work ethic, his ability to also finish in front of the goal is something that's really valued at Richmond. So hopefully see him with having, I'm sure he does have grander aspirations, but seeing him at AFL level in the early stages of 2026.
What I liked about that last ruck contest, you said Ollie Hayes-Brown did get it out of the ruck, and he did, because he didn't go up for it.
Yes.
He just stood there and waited for Robbie Warnock.
He did it again.
to put it down to him.
Here we go. Richmond looking to clear, but great pressure by the Blues at ground level. Look to tap the ball out. Here go the Blues via Camporale to the outer side. Alnua once again just shifted his opponent off the ball. Just handballed the ball to no one in particular, but clean up by Rechko. George. Phillip had a 2-on-1 there, but here comes Sam Toner into the contest as well. Camporale once again to Boyd. Good pressure by Phillip. Here go the Tigers. Rechko has got that man Fawcett. Free inside 50. He's got a couple of options. What will he do? Will he have a shot on goal? He has to now. He invited the pressure. Just probably should have gone inboard with the handball to Alga and through for a minor score. But good turnover football there by the Tigers.
Well, he could have done a number of things, Liam Fawcett.
I think he had too many options. Sometimes you got too many.
Even stopping to have a bounce as Nick Haynes runs out of his defensive goal square. And no one comes at him, so he goes further. Thumping ball to the wing. Lockwood didn't take the mark. Harvey was in there for the Blues. There's the big man, Ollie Hayes-Brown. The umpire will ask for it. My apologies. That was Logan Prout running out of the defensive goal square. Got both shoulders strapped. New to the Carlton lineup in 2026 is Logan. Here's the boy George. Got away from Davey. Couldn't get the handball over the top of Charleston, so it ended up back with Davey, who put the spiral to the half-forward flank. Numbers around this one, but the boundary line will beat all comers. And we'll have it tossed in.
That was a finger breaker by Davey. The low spiral. Zayden Lockwood and Dane Harvey is a good matchup to watch this afternoon. Both really good, young, talented players. And we've got Hayes-Brown in the ruck there. Won the tap. Ball out of play. He's opposed to Flynn Riley.
So earlier on, when Ollie Hayes-Brown did take a rest, McKelty Lafau did a couple of minutes in the ruck. I just wonder at different points. Now, Liam Fawcett, he's clearly a big presence in the forward line, but if he's not getting into the game, whether they consider throwing him in there for a minute or two, just to get his hands around the footy, because clearly when he does strike goal and kick a goal, he comes into his own a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's something they consider throughout the year, it's probably a real wild card that you don't want to burn your big forward out. But I just wonder at different points if he hasn't touched it early, whether that's a way to get him involved, and he might be up here.
No, it's a great point, and it's something that obviously will be explored at AFL level and VFL level with now the ability to have 5 on the bench. So it's something that I know Kelty Lafau will be working through in regards to secondary ruck opportunities at AFL level and VFL level. But I'm no reason why Liam Fawcett couldn't be in that mould as well. Brown looking to mob up here for the Tigers. Nice work by George. Has held the outer perimeter nicely. Scott inboard to Smith. Smith to Alnua. Great work by the Blues. They've turned this over at half forward. Davey inside 50. Oh, Hayes Brown drifting back nicely. Supporting. Brown to Collier. Collier to Rechko. Rechko, high ball to the outer side. Set a task for Fawcett. Just eluded him a little. Duffy was on his hammer. Richmond still alive here on the outer wing. Fawcett. Rechko with the handball over his head to Collier. Collier to Phillip. Phillip has Piker. Piker running hard, playing well in the first half. Piker with a little ball inside 50. It finds Austin Johnson. And Johnson should just settle it down and have a shot on goal. Great ball movement there by Richmond.
Really well played it was. Liam Fawcett stayed involved in the contest, and even when he was being tackled, managed to fashion a handball. And even the composure of the young fella, Zane, to just cut back inboard and not blaze away to the top of the square and hope for someone to mark it. He lowered the eyes, and here we are with Aussie Johnson, who's got stickers all over the place.
He's got summer stickers. I only didn't have any tattoos last year when we finished up the Smithies VFL season, but he's been in the parlour over the summer months and has got them everywhere now.
Unfortunately, couldn't get the full 6 points there. So 4-5-29, the Blues, 6-6-42. The Tigers, as Jordan Boyd is the man charged with bringing this Sherrin back into play. Broadcast side of the ground. In fact, he almost goes corridor. The kick just went over the head of Reedy. The ball has been locked up with Collier almost right on the wing. And Reedy now works his way back down to half forward. Hayes Brown with a big roundhouse to 50. Trying to get through. The tackle was rent-free. And he couldn't get past. Locked up. So again, a secondary stoppage right on the paint of 50. About to tick into time on in this second term. Hayes Brown won it down. The palm off from Scott. The thumping kick off the boot of Ollie Houghton. Goes to the goal square and bounces just to the wrong side of the stick. Oh, he's a talent, Ollie Houghton.
Yeah, he sure is. As I said, we saw it against Casey a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to have some great games for Richmond in the 2026 season. You can just see it, and has some great leadership capabilities as well. But just from Hayes Brown earlier, I love the roundhouse clearing ruck tap. It just clears the congestion a bit. Brings a bit of chaos into the game, especially in the front half. Here goes Lafau for Richmond. Turns the ball over on the kick in. He just left the ball behind, which meant the Blues were invited back in by Davey. Davey inboard. Ball just falling over there. That was Big Dirksen. And here go the Tigers via Piker. Just tapped the ball in front of himself. Davey with the mop up. Free kick. And the advantage was paid. Great work by Akers. It was a 3-on-1 and Akers won the ball. Cleared to the outer side for the Blues, and a little bit happening at half forward. We tick past the 21-minute mark of the second term. Left football down the wing. Hayes Brown with the contest in the air. Down to Collier. He's wrapped up by two Blues.
So Blake Akers was able to stop that. He had a 2-on-1, read the footy like a book, cleared it out of there, and now we're on this broadcast outer side of the ground. Boyd, we just tapped it on nicely to Camberriali, off to Vickery, who could thump it inside 50 on the left. He just checks it ever so slightly. He knew Elnor was on his own. Reedy had to turn defender. Collier did the roving outer side of the ground. That is a super mark from the big man, Wade Dirksen. Gemma Bastiani wrapped it. He's been given an opportunity. It'll hurt the Giants, no doubt, that he's no longer in that lineup, but it'll certainly help the Blues in 2026. So called to play on now on the outer side of the ground here. And Stickers Johnson takes the intercept mark.
I don't know if Aussie Johnson's going to be wrapped with that nickname.
Oh, he's got a lot of them. He's gone for the full sticker set on the right leg and the full one on the left arm. Inside the centre square, Sharky thumping it to 50. Oh, that's a terrific mark. Toner right on 50. against Dirksen. He gave it off to Sharkey, who started this play. Into the pocket. Lafau spoiled away and will have it thrown in.
He's an exciting prospect, Sam Toner. Part of the VFL program. I reckon it's by the second or third year. But along with Ollie Houghton against Casey, he was the best performed, and Lockie Street as well, probably the best performed VFL listed players across the four quarters, and just has good size, covers the ground really well, and just looks to have risen a level this year. So looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. Rechko inside 50, short ball to Piker, who has been everywhere in the opening half. Playing a high half forward role, up and back, it shows real speed and power, but also smarts. Gets himself into really good positions. Now this, if he's going to have a legitimate shot on goal here, this is going to test him. He's just going to pop the ball to the top of the goal square. Oh, a good big fly from Renfrey, brought the ball to ground. With Scott at ground level, Renfrey bounces up, ball smothered. Good position by Al-Nua. Causes the ball to be brought down to ground level. Brown, good support to Sharkey inboard. Sharkey goes to Johnson. Johnson's got Collier running shotgun. Also can go out wide to Trainer. Luke Trainer, second year in the system. He's had a great pre-season. Plays on from 60. Gives it everything. Oh, big Hayes Brown, what a mark. Just stood tall. And that was a fantastic contested mark and should convert.
Terrific grab. Brilliant hands from Ollie Hayes Brown, and barring catastrophe, it will be a goal. Said good movement too to go to the outer side of the ground.
Yeah.
They were hemmed in on this side of the contest, and Aussie Johnson worked it out nicely.
Great work by Hayes Brown. Converts. Kicks Richmond. They put that up early, or will it be their seventh goal?
That will be their seventh goal.
Seventh goal. It'll be 7-7-49 to 4-5-29. So 20-point lead now to the Tigers. And the one thing I reckon I've noticed is just Richmond's system and the way they've moved the ball today is probably just has shaded Carlton quite a bit. Carlton doesn't, when they need to go slow, they probably haven't moved the ball as well as they would have liked. But the Tigers, either fast or slow, have looked really sharp, and they look ready to take on Southport in next week's round one matchup.
They certainly responded well after giving away the first two goals of this second term, both to 50-metre penalties, to kick the next three and take back the lead and extend it now to 20 points. Darcy Tucker gets the clearance for the Blues. Can they respond now before half-time? Al-Noor was terrific.
Yeah, great tackle.
Bringing the footy to ground. Picked up. It got to Phillip nicely.
He's done that well.
Spun on a dollar. Gave it off to Toner, who whacks it to 50 out from goal. Roberts Thompson didn't take the mark. He did well to keep the footy moving, though. Burt back on the ground. Street, who shot the handball over the top to Alga, ran out of room, ran out of real estate. Sorry, Jasper. Yeah, not KB. That would have been play on back in the 70s, though, because Kevin would have found a rule to go his way. And the boundary line probably doesn't exist. But unfortunately, they're right on the money on this Thursday afternoon. 8 days away from the launch of the Smithies VFL for 2026. Reedy won it down. A brilliant shark from Sam Phillip, but his kick went wide. He's saying it was touched. The umpire's having none of that. Out of bounds on the full.
No, he was having none of that. It's a good try. You've got to try it on with the umpire, but it'll be a free kick to be brought back in by Haynes for the Blues. Duffy here for the Blues at half back. Will go to the true wing position. Great work by Brown, just floating in. He's starting to work his way into the game nicely. Is Tom Brown. Street inside 50, one-on-ones. Oh, big contest there at the top of the goal square. There's a Tiger still down. Snap on goal by Piker, and he's his second. Zane Piker. He's been absolutely outstanding in the first half so far. But there is a Tiger that's just slowly getting to his feet now.
It's Jasper Alga, that man who was in that contest and got cannoned into.
I think it was Burton coming off the fat side, just was tracking the ball in. But the finish by Piker was elite on his left. That was pure class. I know I said we might see him in the first couple of months of the season. That might be brought forward to the first month because he showed his wares against Casey and he's gone up a level with this performance. So excellent work there by the young man.
Just got the binoculars on Jasper Algo, who's coming from the ground. Thankfully, under his own steam, he is leaving. So I wonder if he just had the absolute wind knocked out of him. But he'll come from the bench and we'll give you an update after half-time. 8-7-55. They've kicked 4 goals this quarter, all in a row now, Richmond. Carlton 4-5-29. They kicked the first 2 of this second term. We are nearing half-time. Reedy just grabbed it out of the ruck and then sharked it forward. Brilliant kick of the football. Al-Noor was sensational in spoiling it and bringing it to ground. Carlton, though, at the front of the contest, still have the football. It was handball backwards. Now it's moving forwards. Young flicked it up. It was moved towards Hogg. He couldn't get boot to ball. On the last line of defence is Luke Traynor.
Oh.
Who ran himself into trouble, had the ball smothered, and will have it thrown in. Right next to the behind post. There's a punch-on going on behind the goals.
Yeah, that's Traynor. Traynor involved in that. Got some treatment after the contest. he started it, and then he just ran away from it.
So Young, Reedy grabbed it out of the ruck, fumbled the football. Sam Phillip picked it up, though, and made it someone else's problem. That's Burton going back with a flight. Brilliant mark by Vickery, kicking a half out from goal. I wonder if he's got the leg on him.
Siren's going to go any second, surely.
Vickery will stick it into the pocket and hope for the best.
Ooh,
and Reedy marked it, but Al-Noor, Superman style, went forward. And we'll have this one a free kick for him. He moved it on nicely. And the ball's with Rechko, the runner, who's a Richmond fan.
Out to Rechko, outer half back, goes to the outer wing. Lafau in position, or was Lockwood, sorry. Renfrey at ground level. Right foot ball to half forward. Lafau slips over. Moya dropped the ball. And what's this going to be? Richmond free kick here at half forward. They're going to have to go quick because I reckon, the siren would be going to go in any moment now. Renfrey hands off to Rechko. Rechko with a long ball, attacking ball. Roberts Thompson, nearly took the mark. Probably was expecting some contact from behind. Ball goes up the chimney, still in dispute. Carlton hacked the ball clear, but it could be coming back with interest. Oh, great mark. Excellent fly there for the Blues. And they go quickly into the corridor. Right in the heart is Jack O'Sullivan. He got the ball moving on quickly to Moya. Moya's drawn a free kick. Comes out wide to Akers. Akers has got Nick Haynes just right. They'll wax it here. The 2 senior players. Look at them. That's spill your boot stuff, but just pump up the stat sheet as we hear the halftime siren sound here at Icon Park. Richmond with a 4-goal burst in that second term. 8-7-55, leading the Blues 4-5-29, who kicked the opening 2 goals of that quarter via 50-metre penalties. As we'll go enjoy halftime break, Joey. What did you like in that quarter?
The response from the Tigers after conceding those first 2 goals, 4 in a row.
Am I on?
Just about set to go for the second half here at Icon Park. This is the final practice game for both Carlton and Richmond before we kick off the 2026 Smithies VFL season with Joe Pignataro and Brenton Mann. The Tigers 8-7-55 lead Carlton 4-5-29. A couple of goals to Liam Fawcett and Zane Piker in that first half. Individuals all round the rest. Now, just before half-time, there was a pretty sizable collision at the top of the goal square for the Tigers that saw Jasper Alger thankfully come off the ground under his own steam, but he was under a bit of duress. And Manny, you've been down in the Richmond rooms at half-time.
Yes, he's taken his place. Oh, he will be taking his place. It's on 450 for Richmond. Just, as you said, had the wind knocked out of him a bit. It was Ned Renfrey who had the big contest he was coming off the fat side of the ground and tracking the ball in and had a big collision there at the top of the goal square. But luckily Jasper Alger's out there in the number 29 and just jogging into 450 now to take his place alongside Liam Fawcett.
I saw Tom McKenzie doing some run-throughs throughout half-time, so he expected to be playing in this second half. Carlton have got about 5 or 6 players. They've named a squad of 30 today. Richmond just the squad of 29. The Blues, of course, have got an extra week before they kick off their campaign against Williamstown. Next week, the Tigers will open their season against Southport.
Hayes Brown and Reedy. Reedy with a tap for the Blues. Camperelli, who's been probably their best, just sees the ball to the outer side. Great tackle there. I think that was by Zane Piker, who was singled out by Jack Madgen at half-time for his efforts in the first half. And Richmond fans would have been very much enjoyed the work of Zane Piker with his 2 goals in the first half. Mutaz Alnura is another one that was singled out by Piker, but has given away the free kick here. I'm not too sure what that free kick was for, but potentially too high or a bit of holding there in the marking contest. And Carlton, once again, will have a shot on goal in the opening minute of the term, much in the same way as they did in the second term. I believe it is Taylor Byrne, I reckon, with a shot on goal. Rutaz O'Neill hands on hips. I don't think he's overly impressed. And it bangs into the woodwork there. Through for a minor score. It'll be 4-6-30. The Blues trailing Richmond 8-7-55. Luke Traynor will bring the ball back in for the Tigers. Premature bounce. Rechko, the ball just drifts out of play. Which we'll see the Blues bring the ball back in. As you can hear in our mics, the blustery conditions here at Icon Park. Autumn is well and truly here in Melbourne. Blake Acres with a long ball inside 50. Moya, good body positioning. Knew the ball was going to drop short. Got in front of Traynor. Was able to drift onto the ball with a nice juggling mark there. And this will be a good start here for the Blues if Ashton Moya can convert from a 45-degree angle, 45 metres out.
Back-to-back inside 50s, back-to-back shots at goal. Around now, Ashton Moore will decide whether he kicks left or right foot.
As we see previous, he's going to go right. It's drifted back. Nicely there for the Blues. He likes a great finish there by Ashton Moyer. Do you reckon if he was on the other side of the ground, he would have kicked on his left foot? Potentially.
Depending on the breeze.
Yeah, true. No, he drifted that back on the breeze beautifully. And exciting young prospect for the Blues. They've got the opening goal. They just had 2 inside 50s, 2 shots on goal, which will please the coaching staff. 5-6-36, trailing Richmond 8-7-55.
So it brings the margin back to 19 points. And the one thing we mentioned during the second term was in their previous 2 practice games, Carlton, they've trailed by as much as 6 goals in both of them and been able to bridge the gap against the Cats a couple of weeks ago. They ended up winning by a point against the Scray. They got to within a couple of goals before ultimately losing by 21 points. But they certainly have been able to finish better with the running in their first couple of games in 2026. They go inside 50 here. The mark has been intercepted by Tom Brown, who goes to centre half, back with the kick, just caught on the breeze, and so the ball hits the deck and Carlton go to work. Blake Acres sweeps it to Boyd from a standing start on 50. 2 in a minute for Carlton. It's not going to be there. It's hit the behind post, almost at the top of the stick, out of bounds on the full. And it's certainly got some breeze behind it, kicking to the Legends stand end in this third term.
Definitely here, and we had a big gust of wind that came through the stand here. The breeze has picked up. Oh, fly by Retchko. How about that for Patrick Retchko? Excellent mark there by the young Tiger. He's going to be one to watch in 2026 and beyond if he takes his place on the wing for Richmond at AFL level. Just a short ball to Burton, just misses him. He's young for the Blues. Tackled by Roberts Thompson, stripped by McKenzie. Nice work. Over the top to Fawcett, just eludes him. Ball goes out of play. As you said, Tom McKenzie has come on for the second half here. Of course, the brother of Ali, star in the AFLW program, former number 1 draft pick. He's got 450 stoppage here, 40 metres around from goal. Lafau against Reedy. Ball brought to ground. Nice work by the Lafau with the follow-up pressure at ground level. Oh, good step. Nice work there for the Blues. Corridor kick. Brown cuts it off. Excellent work, Tom Brown. Now, he's kicking against the breeze here, but he's got a fair shoe on him, does Tom Brown. Just chips up in front of Liam Fawcett. Good contest. Potential holding, nothing doing. Pressure by Lafau at ground level. The Blues just exiting. Lafau once again. Great work by Lafau. The Blues look to be out. Has kept the ball in the attacking half for Richmond. Ball to be thrown in where the 50-metre and arc and the boundary line intersect. Liam George at ground level for Richmond. Gang tackle by the Blues. Another stoppage.
55 out from goal. Haven't hit the scoreboard in this second half just yet, but Street might try and help them out. He went for Burton, went over his head. He was pushed off it by Flynn Young. Kicked a terrific goal in the first quarter of the game. Reedy, the big man, broke a couple of tackles, put the handball into the path of Blake Acres, who used his teammate nicely for support. That's Rob Monaghan, the Irishman. He gave the handball off here to Lucas Cambriale. Takes the ground in front of him. 2 bounces. He gets to 50. He checks it beautifully. Great ball movement by the Blues. The length of the ground. And they will end up with a shot at goal directly in front, 15 metres out. And Charlie Cotter will have his first touch of the day. He's playing only the second half. And he'll slot this one through from directly in front.
Best passage of play for the day for the Blues. That was outstanding. Ball movement, as you said, Joey, went the length of the ground.
So here's Charlie Cotter. Our first look at him for 2026. And he puts it through.
Welcome back, Cotter. Obviously, any children of the 80s would have watched that TV show. Great start here for the Blues, as they did so in the second term. They've had the better of the momentum early on in this quarter, and they've just got to sustain it. But as you said, Joey, a couple of times in the broadcast, they've the evidence is there that they can do it, that they can sustain that and come from behind and mount a serious challenge. So they're going to look to do that in the second half here, and the Tigers will have to be on their toes.
Back-to-back quarters, they have kicked the first 2 goals of each of them. And the second term was on the back of 2 50-metre penalties, but this time, 2 goals in play. That one, the length of the ground. Nice to see the big man, Liam Reedy, getting involved at centre-half back too, and even the likes of Blake Acres and Lucas Cambriale, so a couple of their listed players getting hands on the footy.
Yeah, both Cambriales have been good so far this afternoon. Lafau in the ruck for Richmond against Reedy. Really good hunt at the ground level. Sees Zane Piker come into the game, was attempted to put the ball into the path of Fawcett. Excellent defensive work there by O'Sullivan. Sees the ball go out wide to the man in the long sleeves there was that Flynn Young in the long sleeves? Potentially, or... Oh no, it's Jed Rule, sorry, in the long sleeves there for the Blues. Here they go, the Blues once again inside 50. Alnua or Reedy, there was about 3 of them that converged. Nice tackle by Trainer. Ball spills to Collier. Dangerous position here to have a forward 50 stoppage. Tigers have to be really stingy defensively, really organised, because the Blues are sniffing another goal here. Free kick? No. Neither ruckman really got a meaningful tap on that. Good work there at ground level by Tucker. Lafau traps the ball and is trapped. Another stoppage pretty much in the same spot as the previous one. Reedy wins the ball down. Snap on goal. Oh, big tackle by Lafau. That was on Young. Ball squirts out. Good contest. That was by Burton. Akers puts the ball up into the jet stream, and the breeze carries it over the line, and we'll have a Richmond free kick on the point post for out in the full. Caleb Smith brings the ball back in. Not a great deal of movement by the Tigers as of yet. We'll need to go long to Lafau, who puts his hand up. Lafau enforced it. Ball's going to drop short, though. The forwards should have known that, kicking into the breeze. Carlton reloads at half forward, sorry.
So they'll send it inside 50 with Logan Prout. Whacks it into the pocket. Harvey, was he pushed off it in the contest? The umpire thought about it and then said, no, rule's fair. So rush through for a minor score. And Smith will bring the footy back in. 13 points in arrears, the Carlton Footy Club, but they're pressing. Kicked the last couple of goals. Smith goes to the outer side of the ground with that one. Big fly in the contest, but as it hits the ground, they go to work. Proud again. Short kick just over the head of Moyer. It bounced up for Cambriali on the half volley. Here's Akers on 50. He's got a bit of space in front of him to go low for Harvey. Maybe could have had a shot in the end, Blake Akers. With the breeze in his back, he'll attack the footy here and have a second attempt, but he'll see it go over the line.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit in two minds with that one. I reckon he did go to load up, but then just at the last second pulled the kick and tried to hit up Harvey, but ball's still in a really good attacking position here for the Blues, who have started the better in the third term here, have really come out of half-time full of vigour. They've kicked the opening 2 goals. Reedy in front of Lafau. Ooh, too high potentially by Collier. Has drawn the free kick there for the Blues. That's Ison. Now, this is not beyond him here. He's got to probably aim at the far point post, and the breeze has been bringing the ball back. So I'm going to back him in here.
Backing him in?
Yep, I'm going to back him in. Good representation for Carlton. I didn't know he was a left footer, but it swung back, just the wrong side of the goalpost. Through for a minor score, but it was a great effort by Jack Ison there. Richmond's just got to get out of a little bit of a funk they've come out of half-time in. Trainer to Al-Nua. Back to Trainer. Johnson, Al-Nua. Has a free player out wide here. Hangs the ball up in the air a long time for George, but Blake Akers nearly went over the stand threshold. George finds Street. Carlton set up really well behind the ball here, which means Street had to go short to Lafau. The ball just eluded him. And the lasso rule means that Carlton will win the free kick via Reedy. Left foot ball to go short into the corridor to Cookson. Nice little dance step there. That was by Mega. Carlton goes laterally into the path there, into the hand, there, of Monaghan. Rule on the outer side in the long sleeves. Carlton showing some patience. A bit of dare, though, with that kick. Just hung up a little bit longer than Boyd would have liked. Cookson once again. Another one that is on for the second half here, as Carlton manages their minutes. Al-Nura in good spot, just over his fingertips. Lockwood just squirted the ball out of Trainer. It went one way, then the other. Al-Nura, that went about 6 metres, Mutaz. You'll have to give the ball up. What's the umpire going to do? Says give it to me, and Charlie Cotter with a nice tackle.
Lucky Mutaz Al-Nur, because he made no attempt at all to get rid of the footy. Riley palmed it down towards Moyer, who went past the footy. Cotter's in there. Smith came up with it for the Tigers. Al-Nur's kick was smothered. Moyer stole it and just missed.
Tell you what, Cotter has provided some real spark up forward for Carlton in this term. Nearly led to another goal there for the Blues.
He's added something, because Charlie Cotter has kicked a goal already. And the Tigers will bring the footy back in with Caleb Smith out of his defensive goal square. He has a bounce. His kick's no good. The mark has been intercepted by Flynn Riley. So the big man will Send it back inside 50. Jed Rule riding shotgun wants it. Riley decides he's going to kick the ball into the pocket for Harvey, who went up before acceptances. Ball came to ground. Al Noor came across the face of goal. Boy George is in a tackle here. It's a strong one, and it's on Ryan Corrigan on the paint of 50. We'll have it locked up, and the umpire will ask for it.
Good work by both players there, Corrigan and George. Corrigan causing the turnover, but George didn't get stepped and made sure that the Tigers had a chance now to repel from this stoppage. Collier. Corrigan once again with a good tackle. Ooh, and earns a free kick too. Corrigan playing on now. Oh, dangerous ball. Sharkey, Smith, Street. Good forward pressure there for the Blues. Turns the ball back over. But the Tigers will win a free kick here to Lockie Street, who is infringed upon once the ball left his area. Was holding the man. Trainer riding shotgun. Long ball out wide. It's got Piker. He's got to turn and go. Showed what he could do in the first half here. And goes to Rechko. To Sharkey. Nice patient build up here for the Tigers. Picking the right options to Houghton. And Ollie Houghton may have a shot on goal here. You have to kick from either the paint of 50 or just beyond into the breeze. But the first meaningful inside 50 here for Richmond. As the Blues have come out full of running in the third term here. Tigers leading by 11 points. 8-7-55 to the Blues, 6-8-44. Ollie Houghton on his approach now. Tall timber in the goal square for the Tigers. From the paint of 50, Ollie Houghton has given that a ride just to the wrong side of the goalpost, through from minor score, but it was a great effort there by Houghton. Boyd will bring the ball back in for the Blues. Nearly 16 minutes gone in the third term here. Plays on. Long ball to the outer wing. In that man Cotter. Good spoil there by Ozzie Johnson. That's better by the Tigers. Keeps the ball in their front half.
6-9-45 to 8-8-56. We're halfway through the third term. Richmond building up to take on last year's grand finalist in Southport next week at Kinetic Stadium to open their season. Hayes Brown grabbed it out of the ruck, thumped it inside 50. It's a 3-on-1. It hits the ground. It's going to be Liam George get there first. Broke the Blake Acres tackle, but he's running away from goal. Gave to Tom Brown by hand. And now they'll get it inside 50 with Burton. He chooses to give the handball to Trainer. Into the pocket nicely. And that is good ball movement from the Richmond Footy Club. And Sharkey gets it 45 out from goal. He thought about passing it. He's now deciding to stretch out the legs and the quads and the groins and the calves. And he wants to have a ping at the sticks himself.
Yeah, it was well worked there by the Tigers by hand. Nice little handball drill. Ended up with Luke Trainer, who's worked his way into the game pretty well from the back half. Same with Tom Brown.
So here's Sharkey to put the 11-point lead out to 17. He never looked like scoring.
No, wasn't coming back from there.
Didn't listen to the goal kicking coach at halftime, Brenton Mann, who would have said, aim that one between the sticks, Aaron. That'll help you.
Exactly.
Maybe you can work on that this week.
I'll try. Boyd for the Blues will bring the ball back in. Skipper in the club today. Long ball, tall timber. Nice work by Trainer over the back. Again, at ground level too, Trainer, that's better. And wins a free kick.
Been good, Luke Trainer. Been really good.
Yep. He and Tom Brown have been pretty industrious behind the ball. That's not his best kick to the ruckman.
Been bad, Luke Trainer. Been really bad.
Brown. It gives the Blues a look on turnover. Cooks into a one-on-one. Oh, nearly. Good work there by Collier. Just didn't get edged out of the contest. But the Blues are looking dangerous here going inside 50. Ball ends in the hands of Akers. Camperali. Good pressure by Trainer.
Made up for it, Luke Trainer. Made up for it.
He sprinted from half forward to make that save. And he'll like his time over again, but that happens to the best of us.
Now he's coming from the ground. Goodness me. Well, at least it wasn't after a goal that he kicked.
Ball thrown in. Well, Hayes Brown takes it out of the ruck. Hands off to Roberts Thompson. Dangerous handball into the corridor. It was Young. Camporale. Cookson. Short ball inside 50. Could have raffled at the Blues there. It's Darcy Tucker. Just saying, settle this down, boys. I'm going to have a shot on goal with the breeze in my back.
Well, if he puts this through, the margin comes back to 5 points. Richmond have added one behind in this third term, and the Blues will be looking at their third consecutive goal. And Darcy Tucker, North Melbourne, Fremantle, now Carlton, crosses 50, puts it on its way, and it's wide. Through for a behind. So they're leaving a bit on the table. The Blues, they did this against Footscray last week.
Say 6:22
6:22. They're on 6:10 now. And there's not much you can do as a coach when you're watching the scoreboard tick over 1 point at a time. That's frustrating. As Caleb Smith sticks to the outer side of the ground, Hayes Brown's in the contest. He brought it to ground. Here's Tucker, thrown to the turf. Camberale picked it up, went for Riley. Biggest man there, wrapped up by 3. Burton got it, and now the Tigers will move forward. The ball's been put towards Harry Scott, who's going to get it now. And Liam Fawcett was thrown into the ground. Brilliant tackle by the Blues and by Prout. He wins the footy back, goes into the centre circles. It's Darcy Tucker. On the left comes broadcast side. Aikens got an open 50. He's just got to pick out a teammate. Which one will it be? Beautiful. And Flynn Young takes the mark.
Yeah, great work there on the outer side. Renfrey just probably should have drawn. He probably handballed too quickly. He could have drawn the player there and released Liam Fawcett, but that was excellent link-up play there by the Blues to find Young inside 50. Timed his lead well too, didn't lead too early. And the kick by Akers drew him into the space. Now they just need to convert.
Well, he went to go into the pocket and then realised there was a whole corridor that was vacant, and that's where Flynn ran into. So again, to make it under a kick, ticking into time on to the third term, directly in front.
Good goal, good kick.
And good goal.
Good goal.
Flynn Young kicks his second. And Carlton close. 3 goals in a row. 8:56 to 7:10:52. We've got the close one on a Thursday afternoon at Icon Park.
Where else would you rather be? Breezy, a little bit chilly here, Joey, but we've got a good game of footy. It's been pretty hotly contested from both sides, and the Blues have definitely had the better of this third term and have given the Tigers something to think about here as they cling to a 4-point lead. The Blues are kicking with the breeze, and a pretty hefty breeze, you would say. It probably is a 4 to 5 goal breeze, to be honest. But we're in for a good end to this quarter and probably a good final term as well. Riley and Hayes Brown. Riley wins it down. Camporale tackled by Phillips, but is able to win the ball off half back. Look at the Blues go. They're streaming inside 50. Shot on goal or pass there was by Monaghan. Through for a minor score. They found their attacking flair, that's for sure. The Blues, they're probably a little bit stodgy and stagnant in the first half, but not in this third term. As Brown, a little bit indecisive, bringing the ball back in. Goes short. Oh, great mark. Made that look really good. Did Ollie Houghton. Caleb Smith with a bit of run and carry. Ball falls short. That's nearly a great mark to Renfrey against 2 or 3. Here go the Tigers via Orechko. A long ball inside 50 to McAltila foul. Just through his fingertips. Ball goes out of play. That's a bit better by the Tigers. Just haven't had enough of those opportunities in the front half in this third term, but still leading by 3 points. It'll be Lafau versus Riley in the ruck. Nice work by Lafau. Bodied Riley off the ball, as did Brown on Ison. Showing a little bit of experience there, Tom Brown. Ball still in dispute though. Good pick up by Hayes Brown at ground level. Phillip, nice handball chain here to Mackenzie. Little dance step. Gives himself some space, but it's a poor kick inside 50, and here go the Blues on the rebound.
Yeah, through the centre square. Sammartino goes to Moya. 2 bites of the cherry for Ashton. Gave it off to Camberriali. The Blues go inside 50 again. It's a beautiful booming ball. And the mark's been taken by Charlie Cotter, who kicked a goal to start this run at the start of the third term. In fact, it's Lucas Camberriali.
Bender Lucas.
Moving the footy nicely. And this will put him in front by 3 points. 25 metres out. No problems? Yes, he's got a problem. He hit the stick.
No problem if he was aiming to hit the post, but yes, it's
wow.
It was starting to come back, just not enough. McKenzie to Sharkey for the Tigers. Can they get their spark back? Piker. Nice kick by Sharkey to find Piker. Here go the Tigers. They got a bit of run and carry, but chooses to go laterally to Rechko. Rechko chipping ball to Brown, who's made good space on Ison. Cuts inside, chiseling ball, but over the fingertips of Riley. Just misjudged it. Jordan Boyd with a hack kick out finds the chest of Rechko. Patrolling the wing on the outer side well. Doesn't know if he wants to go short or long, chooses to go short to McKenzie. They're not really in the launch zone yet, the Tigers, especially with the way this wind is blowing directly into their faces. Mutaz Al-Nua, I reckon that's Thomas Burton. Burton was going to go to McKenzie, but now he's in the better launch zone. Riley, spoiled by LaFowl, comes down to Roberts Thompson and will have a stoppage as Noah is tackled by Riley. About 30 metres out from the Tigers' goal. LaFowl out of the ruck. Oh, that's incorrect disposal. Didn't get his boot to it. And the Blues dodge a bullet once again. Jed Rule on the outer side there in the long sleeves. Left foot ball to half back. Nearly 26 minutes gone, third term. Long ball, one-on-ones at half forward. Richmond via Johnson. Trapped the ball, and we'll have another stoppage.
So the Tigers are up against the momentum right now. They're holding on to a 2-point lead, nearing three-quarter time. 7-12-54, the Blues. Big smash forward by Riley. Bounced up for Caleb Smith. He's got these teammates there for support. One of those is Tom Brown. Nice little step from Tom Brown to go short to Lockwood. 50-odd metres out from his defensive goal. They'll be kicking with the aid of the breeze in the last term. Intercepted by Monaghan. Gets it to 50. And the mark's been taken by Darcy Tucker in the number 50. Who We are just about set to go for the final term here at Icon Park. The Tigers have got a little bit of work in front of them after leading by as much as 22 points. 8-8-56. They trail Carlton 8-13-61. They own that quarter of the Blues, but they kicked 4 goals, 8. That hurts.
Yeah, it does. It does. They deserved a bit more than that because they were dominant in that quarter. Just for Richmond fans, Jasper Alger just did cop a knock in that second term. He started the third term on the ground, but will take no further part. It looks to have a bit of a corky in his leg, but keep across richmondfc.com.au during the week for an injury update as we head into the final term. Hayes Brown and Reedy. Reedy just bursts out. Look at him go out of the ruck. Handball over the top of a teammate there. Tom Brown, nice work to mop up there for Richmond. Found Coley, it was McKenzie actually on the left leg. With a nice little outlet to Rechko. Rechko finds Lafau. Lafau has got McKenzie on short, uses him. Good option. McKenzie, good run. Oh, good intercept mark though for the Blues. They're going to reload here. Is that another 50-metre penalty?
That's their third for the game.
Third for the game. Along with a downfield free kick too, which led to a goal. So this will bring Cooper Vickery into a good launch zone and good mark there. That was by Flynn Young. And Young's going to go for his third goal here. And from what we saw from his first two, he's got a fair left leg on him. So this is well within his capability. Looking to extend the lead to 11 points.
The biggest of the game if he's to put it through.
It was a stand rule infringement? Yes. Yep. May just take a little bit of getting used to with the rigidity of how it's going to be officiated. But it's no excuse. Young sets sail. Didn't really like it off the boot. Through for a minor score. Extends Carlton's lead to an even 6 points.
He's kicked 2 goals, 1 now. Flynn Young as Brown brings the footy back in, went for Lafau and got him.
Jeez, he had good hands today.
Some separation on his opponent. Takes a really good mark. Now he set a task for Burton.
Oh, that's a
in
great
a 2-on-1,
well.
so back to back. Really good marks from the Tigers. From the full back line to the half-forward flank. Who's next? He'll go for Liam Fawcett. Haven't seen much of him since the first term. And he's got it. Takes the mark. 3 in a row for the Tigers, and Liam Fawcett can put them back to level pegging a couple of minutes into the final term.
Those contested marks in the forward half are worth their weight in gold. That was excellent transition of the play, starting from Tom Brown to Lafau. And yeah, Michael Lafau's hands have been so short today in really tricky conditions, and this man as well has a great strength in his hands as well. Liam Fawcett going for his second?
It will be for his third goal.
Third goal, that's right,
so
third goal.
Let's see what he does with the aid of the breeze in his back to the legend stand end to level the scores. Crosses 50, strikes it nicely, and just misses. It doesn't come back far enough.
Good attempt and good transition for the Tigers. They needed that. They didn't have enough of that in the third term. Was one of their strengths in the first half. Boyd just a little bit indecisive. Just comes in board. Still in the defensive 50. And that short kick there doesn't exit it either. This will be Vickery on his left. Piercing ball into the corridor. Cut off by Phillips. Or Sam Phillips, sorry, not Phillips. Goes short to Brown, who's been really solid here for Richmond this afternoon. The foul, fighting for front position, nearly took the mark anyway. Does a little bit of a U-turn, has a bounce. See something he likes on the outer side. That was George, Phillip, Street, Fawcett. Nearly got the handball to Phillip. Incorrect disposal, no. Here go the Blues through Ison. Left foot ball. Relieving kick out to Blake Akers. Brings the ball to half back to Liam Farrar.
He's wrapped up and taken high. So it will be a downfield free kick. And Ashton Moyer will take it at the half-forward flank. The Blues holding a 5-point advantage. He goes for Harvey. Almost got him on the bounce. Harvey navigates it over the line. So 4.5 minutes gone, final term. Last 20-odd minutes of the preseason for both of these sides. Round 1 next week. Richmond take on Southport. Carlton will have a bye. They've got to wait. Thrown back in. Ball's on the deck. There's plenty lurking around it. Hayes Brown got the handball up. Phillip thumped it out of the danger zone. Fawcett sits underneath it. Palmed it down nicely. But couldn't gather it in. Now he can. On the bootlaces. He ran straight into Monaghan. He flipped the handball back to McKenzie. Another one to Lockie Street. The skipper's moving nicely. Here's Fawcett. Gave it a little thumper, only as far as Jed Rule, who takes the intercept mark, wants to turn and go. His kick's not a great one in the centre square. Richmond can hurt them on the rebound. Brilliant pick-up from Brown. He's got Boy George or Burton. Another one to Piker. Open goal beckons. He chisels it to the goal square, and now they're going to end up kicking it. Off the boot of Sam Toner, they made it harder than it needed to be, but Sam Toner kicks a goal, and the Tigers go back in front.
Excellent work there. Tom Brown. Just the anticipation and the courage to come forward and defend there. And just, he had a blue hanging off his shorts for half of that run. Found the free player in Burton, and the overlap was just too much for the Blues to contend with. And finally, the Tigers crack another goal in the second half. And they, as you said, Joey, they did make it a little bit harder than it needed to be. But all's well, it ends well for the Tigers.
And that was off the boot of Sam Toner, who kicked his first for the day. Kicked a couple of behinds in the first half, but they go back in front. 8-14-62 to 9-9-63.
Well, Carlton Lafau into the ruck has had a good start to this final term, actually. Involved in plenty. Blues win the clearance, though. Oh, there's Lafau once again. Causes the turnover. He's involved. Mike Carlton Lafau with a handball. Just misses I nearly did it. It's Noah Roberts-Thompson. I knew I was going to do it. Blues, Monaghan to Harvey. Good spoil by Lockwood. Good gather. That was even better by Collier at ground level. That man Brown went to go on his left. Good smother there for the Blues. That was by Bader. He's on the tear now. Has had 2 bounces. Breaches the paint of 50. Short ball to this man Young, who's been really dangerous forward to centre for the Blues. Excellent pressure there by Bader. And this could be a nice way for the Blues to hit back.
Yeah, Ollie Barter, he loves it. Taking the ground in front of him, coming back off an injury last season. Loves a yap, loves a chat. That was good. Bold. Thought he might have gone all the way, but decided to bring Flynn Young into it, who has, as we've seen already a couple of times today, got a beautiful left foot. This Flynn Young.
Left-hand goalpost there, Joey. Even just a bit outside it. Not that far outside it. The helicopter, it's actually through. I reckon it's through. It is a goal. Not the way he wanted to kick it, but the result is exactly what he wanted. And the Blues are now back in front by 5 points. We're in for a bit of a thrilling finish here at Icon Park. As you said, Joey, the final minutes of the 2026 pre-season. It's a strange way for the Blues to start with the bye, but it's just the nature of the competition.
The quirks of the fixture.
Yep. And the Tigers, as you've said,
nomads.
Welcome the Sharks to the home of the Dolphins.
Yeah, nomads this year, Richmond. If you're thinking you'll see them at Punt Road, forget it. It's not happening. They're playing at Frankston. They're playing at Beaconsfield, the spiritual home. Anywhere else?
I don't know if we've got any games here, but I think just Frankston and Beaconsfield will be the main ones.
Really looking forward to Richmond hosting Frankston at Frankston. It should be a belter in a few weeks' time. Here's Boyd. On the left, goes to centre half forward. Mark Taken stops and props here. Does Cookson. He goes inside 50 on the left foot. El Nor will cut across. He's not needed.
Oh, I thought they were going to pay it against Trainer there.
Tampa Reali thought he might have had a case. The umpire said no. So now it's with Street. The skipper, the long-term skipper, gave to Trainer again, who ran past. He made his teammate earn it, and that teammate is Sharky. Aaron. No, it's a mark, so it's got to come back. He can't take advantage. So Aaron Sharkey on the halfback flank. Nearly 10 minutes into the final term. Richmond took back the lead. Gone again. Flynn Young kicked the latest goal. He's got 3. As Sharkey goes down the line.
Good mark. Big
mark taken. This is Toner, who thought he might have got a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, just trying to self-officiate.
So Toner will go inside 50. Into the pocket, Lafau. He's got 2 to beat in the air. It's spilt out the back to Burton. He checks the kick nicely. It just goes over the top of the head, though, of his teammate in Piker, and Akers takes the intercept mark.
Yeah, it was the right option there by Burton. Looked to square the ball to the top of the square, but yeah, Blake Akers just in the way there as the senior player in the right spot at the right time. Well, Lockwood comes forward to defend. Nice work. Johnston also with a nice little volleyball spike there into the path of Renfrey. Wins a free kick here, does Ned Renfrey. Assessing options now. The Blues have about 2 or 3 spares back. Not the best ball, but it's going to end in the lap of Noah Roberts-Thompson. And a skillful young forward here. This is well within his realm of capability and will give the Tigers back the lead if he's able to convert. Like the look of this, man. Love his left foot and what that brings in regards to, as we saw in the first quarter, his ability to turn inside, find free options inside 50. Generally uses the ball pretty well. Looking for his first of the afternoon. It's going to drift left and just through for a minor score, just scraped in. Richmond now trailing by 4 points.
So Boyd brings the footy back in. It's under a goal, the margin. It's the best possible scenario-based training these two sides can get going into round 1 next week. Vickery called to play on. Outer side of the ground here at Icon Park. Gave it plenty of sky. It'll hold up in the breeze as Al Noor brought it to ground. And the Tigers win back the footy. Rechko off and running. The athletics man. He goes to 50. Awkward one for everyone down there. But the Carlton defence stands tall. That's Matt Duffy. Just paddling it over the line professionally as to not give away a free kick, but he was certainly looking for the safety of that boundary line. It's about to be thrown in the spot where Jed Bustlinger last year signed, sealed and delivered the premiership of Footscray over Southport. As it's thrown back in, Camporeale snatches away the football. Kicks it inside the centre square. Ashton Moyer came out to meet it. Here's Lucas Camporeale. Picked it up and got it to Moyer. He wants to swing around on the left foot. Probably the preferred shoe of Ashton's. His kick was just high enough over the top of Flynn Young. Intercepted by Brown. Called to play on. He stepped around Young. He's got to go quickly. He does to Smith, who wants to go right across the ground. It's a dangerous kick, but it works out okay. Rechko didn't mark the footy. He missed Ollie Hayes-Brown. It might be stolen back. Tucker slipped over. He gets to Moyer, who might have to give another one quickly. He does to Young. Now it's with Camporeale. Back to his brother in Ben on the right foot. Up and down the chimney goes the kick. Harvey comes out to meet it. Didn't take the mark. Ozzie Johnson is there, so is George. Ollie Barter, strong. The umpire will ask for it.
Good quick play, that one. It's all happening here at Icon Park in the final, we'll call it 15 to 18 minutes of play. Blues leading by 4 points.
Oh.
Make that 10 as Ashton Moyer, right man, at the right spot, gleefully accepts that ricocheted ball and snaps truly on his left. The Blues leading by 10 points and have had the better of the second half so far. The Tigers with some work to do and have to take they've had chances inside 50. They've got to take them though. And Ashton Moyer with his second for the day.
Third now.
Sorry, apologies. Has been really lively forward to centre.
6 goals to 1 in the second half.
What I loved about Moyer was a little bit earlier in the play where he really attacked the ball with some real ferocity and allowed that play there for him to get the cherry on top. But they brought Camporeale into the play. The Blues were able to hold it in their half and have a repeat entry inside 50, and the goal is the result.
Extending the margin to 10 points. Their biggest of the day. Akers, in fact, gets it out of the centre square. Cambriali kept it rolling. He's got to go again. Pushed off, it was Harvey, and the Tigers' defence stands up for now. Street just kicked it in hope. Jed Rule's got to sit underneath it with the boy George. Here's Rob Monaghan, the Irishman, from outside 50, pumps it inside. Awkward one for Harvey to navigate. Moyer's out the back. Can he find a fourth? He wraps up his opponent. It's built free. The snap from Flynn Young on the non-preferred is a minor score.
They're pressing hard in the Blues.
Is 11 points.
They're pressing really hard. The game's just been played in their half. The Tigers are under siege a bit. Tom Brown will bring the ball back in. Probably been their most solid contributor for the second half. Goes short to George. Not a great deal of movement here for Richmond. Still pretty stagnant. A few players just putting their arms up, saying just kick it in this general area. Touch ball, which means ball brought to ground. McGaw could have claimed that he marked that. Ball thrown up. Riley v. Hayes Brown. Nice work by Burton. Shrugged the tackle. Blake Acres gathered the ball to Ison. Back to Acres. Nice work by those two players. He's got Young. Left foot ball into the corridor. Nice work.
Oh, he's not passing this. He's absolutely not passing this. The boy out of Old Scotch.
He turned as soon as he marked
he's absolutely going to torch every single bloke in a Carlton jumper as Ollie Barter. No way known he's passing this.
That was good.
And let me tell you, if this was round one for points,
yes,
he would run a lap of the ground in celebration. He's one of the absolute best. I love him.
Ollie Barter on the approach. That's not going to come back. Going to fall short too. Good mark. Oh, no. Nearly good mark. Oh, shot on goal here. The Blues still dangerous. Nice work that was by McKenzie to clean up for the Tigers. To Collier. Ball to the outer side to Sharkey. Great spoil there by Boyd. Sees the ball remain in the Blues front half. Leading by 11 points. Just over 16 minutes gone, final term.
I like what they've done there. Jordan Boyd, terrific spoil. 6 blokes got over to him too.
Yep.
They've got to celebrate the little wins and they'll turn into the big things throughout the season. Thrown back in. Hayes Brown won it down to the front. Awkward one for Phillip. He did well, though, to navigate the footy coming back to him. But he was wrapped up by Lucas Cambriali, who's in the number 21. And we'll have it tossed up. Quick throw up by the umpire. Outer side of the ground. Street in the contest was wrapped up and taken high. So Lockie Street wants to move the footy. His handball went to himself, and the umpire said, "You've got to come back, Lockie."
That's good.
You're very crafty, you're very shifty, but you're not getting away with that one. Not the preseason anyway.
That's out of KB's playbook, that one.
The long-term captain of the Tigers is Lockie Street. He sent it down the line. Riley, the biggest man there, went over his head.
He's hurt
Piker
too, Riley.
tried to move it on. He just had the wind sucked out of him, the big man.
Yep.
He'll get back up, and he'll go again. He almost grabbed it out of the ruck, then decided he didn't want to kick it off the ground. It spilled out the back of the contest. It's nicely played by Charlton. Ball still just bouncing around the place at half forward for Richmond. They've found a way through here from Burton. Inside 50, went over the head of George. Lafau.
They have been sticky.
Terrific mark, and McKelty might put the mouthguard in the sock here.
He's got it in him. He's got this length. He's got this distance in him with the breeze at his back.
So that's the goal-kicking coach of Richmond, Brenton Mann, who's very confident in the shoe of McKelty Lafau. He's a fan favourite of the Tigers. This would bring the house down if there were some people behind the goals. He gives it plenty of sky. It's coming back. It's going to fall short.
Oh, what a mark!
And Liam Fawcett has taken the mark in the goal square.
The Tigers needed this. They needed to kick the next goal. And that was Lafau. I've just loved Lafau's hands today. He has not double grabbed anything. They have just stuck.
And Liam Fawcett kicks his third. And the encouragement of Liam George to say, when this goes through, everyone get down and get around him. Let's generate some momentum. Just their second goal for the second half. And they cut the margin back to within a goal. So again, we've got the close one closing in on the end of this contest.
G Force has been good again. He must know that he just must pencil in this game, Joey.
He lives for
this game.
He lives for website stream games.
Yeah, he does. No, he and Lafau have been a great duo in the front half for the Tigers this afternoon, and hopefully we'll see McKelty Lafau maybe run around the MCG next week against Gold Coast at AFL level. But been super impressed with both of those key forwards this afternoon and the chemistry they've had. So haven't got in each other's way. They've separated well, and as I've said, Lafau's hands have been vice-like. Good tackle by Phillip there. Ball still in dispute. Phillip scoots onto the ball once again. Finds Smith. Johnson to Sharkey at half forward. Just eludes Burton. Oh, has it gathered by Collie, but he's mauled in a tackle there for the Blues by Tucker. Great tackle by Tucker there. Ison presents well at half forward. Riley's down the line on Al-Nur. Or is it Reedy? Sorry, Reedy's down the line. Reedy and Riley are down there. Hayes Brown just shifts Riley out of the way. Brings the ball to ground. Al-Nur on Reedy. Reedy didn't actually take possession of the ball, which means he is awarded a free kick. Don't know if he's got this shoe in him. You'll have to kick from just on 50, with the breeze drifting across from right to left, across his right shoulder.
Well, Big Flynn Riley's gone down to the goal square. Yes. Blake Acres will work his way to the front of this contest. Ashton Moyer is lurking out the back in case he wants to take Mark of the Year.
He'll take his absolute best this one. On the approach is Reedy, looking to respond to the Tigers on his left. It's a good effort. It's a great effort, actually. Just went the wrong side of the post. Through for a minor score. Extends Carlton's lead to an even 6 points.
Oh, can we look at a draw? As Phillip brings the footy back in, McKenzie fumbled the mark. Gave the handball off to Caleb Smith, working in a phone box down in the back pocket. Played it down the line. Lafau went up, didn't take the mark. Now he's on the deck. There's been a whistle. And a free kick is going to Renfree.
No, Lafau. Holding off the ball in the marking contest.
So Lafau goes back to Al-Nur. Back pocket to halfback rather, from the wing. And he gets this one to Ozzie Johnson. Now it's Trainer. So they horseshoe the ground here, the Tigers. Still plenty of time left in this one. 22 minutes gone, final term. They trail by 6 points. Not a great kick from Trainer. He'll have to follow it up here and try and fix up the mess. He does well by picking up the footy. The handball works its way to about half forward. Thumped inside 50, Renfree. Mark intercepted by Sammartino, who's got absolutely no relation to Bruno.
I don't know, we'll have to maybe get on Ancestry.
One of the greats of the wrestling world, according to Brendan Mann.
Get on Ancestry.com and maybe just confirm that.
Draw some sort of family tree during the second term. As Boyd goes back, and they thump it down the line. 3 Tigers there, they raffle it. Bingo, lucky number 12 is Luke Trainer, who's had a stack of the football.
Whoa.
He kicks a wobbler inside 50. Camberriali just got boot to ball. Back from where it came. Reedy was pushed off it by Trainer. Did well not to give away the free kick. Threw the ball away though to Riley. Now Ben Camberriali. He gets it back to the big fella who wobbles it inside 50. And Al-Nur's going to be first to gather this one up. He was clean. Through the centre square. Went for Burton, was dispossessed. Ball's on the deck. Al-Nur charges after it. Moyer just threw the one hand to make it a contest. Now Ozzie Johnson across the centre square with a kick. Here's Caleb Smith. He can go inside 50 or lower the eyes. He lowers them for Renfree, who takes the mark. Thought about going quickly for Smith. Now he's got to go back over it.
Good decision.
So he'll go short now to Smith. Hasn't got a real tall timber in side 50 other than Forson, who breaks for him now. Went over his head. Camberriali is there. Prout across the ground. This is Jack Ison, who's played much of this second half.
Ison, it's going to be another 50-metre penalty as Toner potentially ran through the mark. We're in that protected zone anyway. This will be the 4th 50-metre penalty, which is unfortunate for the Tigers, but beneficial for the Blues here as Ison is brought to the attacking side of the centre circle. Richmond has got plenty of numbers back. Ison decides to go laterally as the Blues just shifted to the outer side. trying to open up a hole inside 50. Nice work by Smith. Great spoil. Brought the ball to ground. Gathered it himself. It was a good tackle, though, as well. And the Blues are awarded the tackle there on the outer side. Rewarded with a free kick. 24 and a half minutes gone. They're leading by a solitary goal. The signs have gone up on the bench, or the benches. Ball put inside 50. I reckon that was by Camperale here. And what great mark by Akers. Just shifted in front of Trainer. And this could see the Blues lead by 2 goals late in the final term. They've owned the second half here as the Tigers have kicked. They kicked two goals or 3 goals, Joey, in the second half.
2.
2 goals in the second half. The Blues have kicked 6. Aaron Sharkey just coming off the ground here for the Tigers, potentially with a bit of cramp. And Blake Akers is just the skinny side, and there is a ball once again up on the roof there. Someone will have to go retrieve it as Mutaz Al-Nur brings the ball back in for the Tigers. 2 straight kicks, for the Tigers. We'll see them in front, but it's not going to happen. Well, Akers just pushed Mutaz Al-Nur over there. It's going to be awarded a free kick. Just didn't need to do it, Blake Akers.